So honestly, I feel like Mia Hamm was one of the most iconic people we had in the game.
Still have. I mean, we don't talk. You said it. We don't talk enough about her.
Think about that picture. I think I had the poster in my room growing up where she was just holding her shirt and there's like the image of her yelling at the crowd as she scored a goal. Like
Nah, it's just
it
one
was.
of the most iconic moments,
Nah,
and she's done
she's a beast, man.
amazing things
She's
for the game. Like,
honestly a
nah,
beast.
definitely.
The following is a Seiko Creative Sonar Projections production. Enjoy.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the ToroFoot Podcast. I am Milton once again. My man Phil.
What's up?
All right, we want to thank you for the support and the engagement. Please keep it up.
Yeah, y'all loyal, man.
We're gonna keep on doing better every single time. So let's get right to it. Carlo Ancelotti was let go by Napoli. It hurt me because I grew up with Carlo. I grew up with
I
him,
mean, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
but I didn't like the appointment to begin with last season. Taking over from Maurizio Sarri, I always felt that Ancelotti was the type of coach who you have a ready-made team. He will tweak and manage and take your team to where they need to go, particularly if it's in the cup. He has, I don't know. I don't want to misspeak, but I don't know if he has 3 league titles or 4 league titles. Not many over quite a few years, but he's dangerous in the cups and look at
Yeah,
the
he
Champions
is
League.
dangerous in Europe.
And simply put, it really depends on what you put a premium on. But nonetheless, his teams played attractive football. They touched you. They made you dream. I didn't think Napoli was the way to go because they were not yet a powerhouse, and I felt like they lost. They ended their cycle with Sarri. The players also ended their cycle with
I
Sarri.
think the idea of what they were trying to do is trying to take that next step, like you're saying. The kind of coach he is what they're trying to do. I think the flaw was that they weren't where they thought they were. They have a lot of great players. They've been between second and third.
Callejon, which was a great steal years ago from Real Madrid.
Still wild about that. Not that
Mertens, Insigne, Alan.
it's a long list. And then you would think that since they've been second and third, around that, I'll say second through fourth,
Yeah.
the last 5 years most likely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the next step is awfully trying to get to the first or get further into the Champions League. And it seems like they weren't ready for that step. Seems like I know
They put money in.
They put a lot of money
in this particular
and a lot of
transfer window.
They grew the squad for the opportunity to challenge in many different competitions. But I think that did not help the harmony of the group because then there was issues in who wanted to play. And I think that's where kind of some of the maturity has come, which is insane to say since it's a pretty old squad.
But at the same time, it's also a squad that's been there for a minute, but also they've had relative success, and they are the people in Napoli. Ancelotti has just arrived. They already saw a coach who was jettisoned in a sense because he had issues with the club structure, and now Ancelotti is arriving. And even though Ancelotti is an absolute master at assuaging egos and making everyone feel good, they felt a certain type of way, maybe in consideration with the club as well, because I had issues with the club and being forced into training camp and them not going, and Ancelotti showing up. When players have a lot of power or even have too much power, Real Madrid, it makes things it can make things difficult. It makes things difficult. I mean, they brought in Chucky Lozano, Irving Lozano. I remember he's fun. He's a I'm sorry.
Very fun talent.
All Mexican players are enjoyable to watch. The Mexico team are so much fun. Manolas from Roma. I care so much for Roma. I don't talk about my teams, but I'm not gonna lie. Roma's my Italian team, and that was stung. They brought in Alex Mireille from Udinese. He's young. That's a good move as well. Those are the main ones I'd say.
Stocked up. I mean, it's stocked up, and I said it. First of all, not all the moves clicked. I know Manolas and Koulibaly took a little while to figure out their partnership. They're doing a lot better now, but initially it was not great.
I'm sorry, I still think it takes time. I don't like to judge transfers too quickly, even when you are particularly successful. I'm like, let's give it some time. Anyone remember Roque Santa Cruz, Blackburn, or Michu with Swansea?
Oh yeah, Mitchell with Swansea. I definitely remember that one.
I mean, you don't remember Roque Santa Cruz? I think it was Mark Hughes. I was like, he's the this transfer signing of the summer over Fernando Torres. I think they arrived at the same time. And Roque Santa Cruz was much cheaper.
I remember the name.
He was much cheaper. Who doesn't miss Blackburn in the Premier League, right? And things like that. But speaking on Carlo Ancelotti, Mr. Christmas Tree himself, Remember, his formation with the Christmas tree was fantastic. That AC Milan team with the Ambrosini, Maldini was still around. Ambrosini, yes. Gattuso, Seedorf, Kaká, Pipo, and Zach. It was legitimately legendary. It was legitimately, yeah, you remember Rocky Santa Cruz, right? Yeah. Legitimately legendary. And now Ancelotti has had some difficulty in his last couple of jobs. Bayern Munich did not go well at all. Well, no, I'm not gonna say it didn't go well at all, if we're honest. And
but it seems we're going from Bayern Munich to Napoli. We'll talk about Bayern Munich in a second, but there are clubs that say they want the next level, but sometimes it doesn't seem like they.
I don't think you can really go to another next level with Bayern Munich after you've let go of Pep Guardiola to go to Ancelotti. I think it was. Well, that leads. I think it was in terms of mentality. Because Guardiola, he likes a lot. It's very, very intense. And Ancelotti, he comes in, he makes you feel good. Everything is going well, keeps it chill. All of these things, but it just wasn't right for the German.
I'm talking about in terms of achievements. I know we're talking about.
You're gonna go the other level from Guardiola to Ancelotti. Okay, we'll say.
We're not talking about. We're not talking about past. We're talking about what they can do for you now.
No, that's what I'm saying. From one year to the next, like, I mean, the most you can say is, well, we weren't able to even advance very far in the Champions League with Pep.
They didn't do really well.
We weren't able to advance very far with Pep.
Too.
So with that team as well.
That team is wild.
I mean, you do what you do. You've won the Champions League with AC Milan. You've won the Champions League with Real Madrid. Like, show us what you got. We need you. Like, do it.
Well, I think, and then what I fear is that the more flaky fans, the ones that don't know him as well, they'll say that that's what bothers me. You lost your magic.
That's what
that to me is, I don't think that's how it works. I think you need support anywhere you go to be able to get some the results you want.
Also, I say fit matters. Sorry to cut you off.
Sorry.
Fit matters.
That's true. Fit does really matter. And I think the last two have not been the best fits. It's the most promising places in the moment. So I think even for what he's trying to do now, he maybe needed to take a break rather than the link he has to Arsenal.
Exactly.
May not be the best one to do.
Is that a good combination, Ancelotti and Arsenal?
Ancelotti and defense is synonymous. That's not the same for Arsenal and defense.
Okay.
I love David Luiz until the day I die. That's my guy. But
I love his hair.
Right now, I mean, he's been there for a while. That's why we initially fell in love with him. What's interesting? A side note. You look at Guendouzi, look at him, and you see the progression of age.
Yeah.
The freedom and free flow in terms of style of play and all that. Free long hair, and then as you get a little more conservative, kind of short, so I don't have to deal with it as much. And
that being said,
I have a wife, home, kids, all that.
That being said, I'm a huge fan of Guendouzi. I am not one of the naysayers that the doom and gloom Arsenal is horrible. This playing squad is extremely poor. I wouldn't say extremely poor. Yes. I might say poor.
I think they need structure. They just need structure.
I think Guendouzi and Guendouzi is young, so we can't put too much on him, even though he seems to rise to the challenge every time. But Guendouzi, Torreira, Aubameyang is a little bit older,
all these young players, Saka,
doesn't want to sign. Saka, Martinelli, big fan of him. Lacazette, I love Lacazette.
Well, Willock.
Joe Willock. You have Reece Nelson. We'll see if he's. He was in. Was it Hoffenheim last year on loan? I don't want to speak out of turn.
I don't think I've seen him.
He's really close with Sancho. Those young wingers. But those young wingers who came out of London. Is it London? It was Hoffenheim. Yeah, it was Hoffenheim where he was at. It was London. Yeah, they come out of London, and they played in the cages. They made it. But winger. They have structure. They have attackers, and Pepe as well, who can come on strong. We'll see. They have attackers. I think their midfield needs one more player, one more starting caliber player.
They need a 6.
One more starting caliber player. Well, Torreira and Guendouzi are different types of 6s, and I think they can do the job. They don't need to be a Busquets, because Kante and Busquets are not the same. They both highly successful in what they do. But Guendouzi is younger. But let me put it this way. I thought about this. I was thinking, what if you have Torreira, Guendouzi, and a 6, and someone else playing 6 a little more defensive minded than those two? That is not necessarily a workman-like midfield, but it's not the most creative. And that's what you have with Liverpool quite often, particularly when Keita and Ox weren't available.
Okay.
And Ox isn't that creative, but they were successful. But at the same time, they had a ridiculous attacking force. a structure and a powerful manager and
Just
fans
have
backing them,
some of the best highlights I've
and
ever
great
seen.
fullbacks, and great fullbacks. Whereas Arsenal, can you really say, let's have that midfield there with those attackers there? I mean, I guess if you're gonna have Aubameyang that's gonna score and you have Lacazette that's there, all right, I can see what you're saying because you want to defend, you want to protect them.
If I'm thinking right now, if we do 4-4-3,
You want to
I'll
protect
take
them.
defenders out of it. I think we have any kind of combination of Aubameyang, Lacazette, Ozil, or Pepe up top of the three, and then for the midfield three, I think what could be interesting is if they nurse and coach Guendouzi. I think he can play the six.
I think he's a fantastic
I think he'd be fantastic.
gem for the future.
I think he'd be six of the six, and he has a pretty good range of passing.
I do
and
like
just the
him
defensive,
moving up.
it's just the defensive things I'm kind of concerned about. And then have Ceballos
He's 20.
or Ozil there, and then Torreira, who can do some defensive work, but also it looks pretty decent going forward. That's a good midfield. And to me, it's not only on the defense to solidify defense. And everyone plays a role. And sometimes if there's too much space between the lines, it doesn't help. So I think that'd be a tough thing for Ancelotti to have to deal with.
And he's older, and does he want to take on a project? And
at this time, yeah.
At this time,
like
after
7-year project. Come on.
After all of that went through, I think Marcelino's an interesting choice. I know a lot of people might want an Englishman to come in and just give him a kick up the arse. But actually, they're saying that more for the Everton job. But Mikel Arteta would be fun. Thierry Henry is too late. He went to Montreal.
Wish you the best, bud.
I do as well. I didn't like the fact that he struggled at Monaco. It wasn't the best situation for him.
No support.
It wasn't the best situation for him at all. Leonardo Jardim is an underrated manager. For Arsenal, Marcelino would be interesting. Eddie Howe, I don't think it's the time, but he would be. A lot of these are just fun. Like a lot of these are just fun.
I'm trying to. What support are they going to get from the front office?
I feel like Arsenal has given them support. I think they have structure now. I just think they need to have a plan and go with it. But that's like Manchester United. But as I said, for me, I remember sending this to you. I already told you that the most interesting would be, or fun would be Simone, Nagelsmann, Rodgers, Arteta, Poch, and Gerrard. But who should get it? Lundberg, this was before he started like the first game. Arteta, Vieira, Howe, Allegri, and Poch. I'm not putting Ancelotti anywhere near there. I think Allegri would be interesting, but does he want to start off in the middle? That's another thing. Does he want to start off in the middle of the season? Do coaches want to come in and start in the middle of the season? If you struggle, that's going to taint your time there, and is going to be losing can become a habit just as much as winning. So you want to arrive when things are
that's a
fresh.
bar. It's a bar right there.
When things are fresh, and then the question is, that's not the only job that might be available.
And I think there are a lot of better jobs out there. It's gonna be
potentially PSG because Tuchel.
I truly believe they're gonna have a struggle finding someone to take this job that is not of a higher quality. For example, the Bayern job is one it's gonna be one that's coveted by a lot of people. But same thing that Arsenal has is the problem that Bayern has. What is the pathway they're working on? I think they really want to figure out what the best way they want to move forward is. I think I can compare them to Manchester United in that they were so used to being on top for so long. They had a great change, and others are catching up to them financially and in quality. How do we stay above the pack? It's a struggle. They cannot do it right now.
What you do, you buy players from your rival teams all the time.
I mean, that strategy seems to not be working anymore because now it's not just Dortmund. They can't buy everyone. That's a lot of money. So
challenge them. Watch it. They'll buy literally everyone.
If they buy Werner, we'll see. Because that's one way to.
I'm waiting for him to go there. That's
he's coming to Chelsea most likely. Let's see what happens. Let's go. I think he's going to Chelsea.
Do you want or do you think?
I can do both.
So you genuinely think he might go to Chelsea? He's been linked with Liverpool.
But see, you guys,
Manchester United.
You guys get linked with a lot of people now, and I understand why, but it's like, come on, you have enough. You have a Origi. Why do you need Werner?
They are stacked. They were linked with Minamino. Yeah, still linked. Just a link. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Bayern Munich apparently said no to Pochettino, or they've released, not
so
released,
no?
They let us know, let the world know, and in certain ways that Poch is not their guy right now. which I find very interesting. But at the same time, I'm not sure Poch is who they want. I'm not sure Poch wanted to go there. Right now, they have their interim coach, Fleek, I think. Yeah, Fleek. First off, I was surprised by Kovac, the signing, a year and a half, 18 months. Ooh,
but what has Kovac won?
Well, he was with Frankfurt. He beat Bayern Munich in the cup, and that might have been the thing to say, let's go get him. And then it didn't go well, and it still wasn't going well. And his style didn't go well in terms of tactically, but it also in terms of man management. And now, because don't forget, this is Bayern Munich.
Of course.
This is a big club,
huge club,
big egos. Anyone who comes in, you either have to, like, the perfect manager
you have to command it.
Would be a former German player who has had success.
Schweinsteiger.
Or, no, as a manager, I mean, as well.
Schweinsteiger?
What?
He can come, can he?
No, has had success as a manager.
Oh, has actually as a manager. I'm sorry.
Okay, so great former German player. Basically, a German Zidane.
So,
right? That'd be great.
Jurgen Klinsmann?
Or Jurgen Klopp. But I don't see Jurgen Klopp. Like, the only way I see him going to Germany national team, maybe.
Yeah,
but
that won't be interesting after Yuri left.
But he's too invested. He loves the day-to-day. Although, he said it himself.
He's tired. He's drained.
He'll get tired.
I think based off how the season goes...
Nagelsmann was supposed to be the guy. Of Leipzig. Nagelsmann.
Well, I do think what they have to do, and I just heard Thiago is trying to leave and hopefully come back to Barcelona. Spain, and I'll be very happy about that.
All right, yeah, sure. We'll fit him in with whom now?
What midfield do we actually have that is quality?
No. What
midfield do we have quality?
No. Don't talk to me about quality when your board buys about 732 players and then says, just
figure it out.
Do it.
Yeah.
Just figure it out.
Yeah. So
come on now. What was the Kevin Prince deal?
Who's first of all?
Great player, part of our childhood.
I don't understand why they bought him as a forward. That one pissed me off.
They brought him in.
That's not him.
Forward.
And then when he fails, like, oh, it was a cheap buy. No, that's not. It's a setup. You ruined his reputation. You got all excited for nothing. It makes no sense. I think they bought him and they played him twice.
Did they buy him or they loaned him? They loaned him. It was a loan.
He was not working. He wasn't working. I'm pretty sure.
What do you mean? No, he was a Sassuolo.
He's there now, right?
No. Let me check.
Cause I know
he's Fiorentina right now.
I know he's playing the Italian league.
Fiorentina. He was with Sassuolo before, was loaned out to Barcelona, played like a handful of games, 3-4 games.
No more than 5.
And then
no more than 5.
And then was out.
And play is like that's a very nice word to use.
Well, funnily enough, I just checked. He only has 15 appearances for Ghana.
Yeah, he played at the beginning and then issues.
The entire issues. But yeah, so baby. If you could name, can you think of a perfect coach for Bayern Munich that is available?
Klinsmann.
He's not available. He just started. He just started coaching. Yeah, he just started coaching. He's got. Is it Hertha? Hertha. It is. I just checked now. Hertha Berlin.
Okay, so
they lost to Dortmund 5-0. Dortmund, yes, they lost to Dortmund 5-0. It wasn't a good look.
I don't think for what they want they have that coach. The reason if I'm being honest, I think the reason they didn't go for Poch.
Yeah, go ahead. Why didn't they go for Poch?
I think the reason they go for Poch is because he's not a trophy winner. I think
it's cold. It's true.
The
way you said it was cold.
No, honestly, sorry, that he has not won a trophy.
Yeah,
he will win a trophy. I'm gonna make sure to clarify that. No, but I really believe that based off who they signed. Pep, Ancelotti, Kovac because he beat them.
Yeah,
and then that's
Hynix.
See, and so it just seems like they want to have people that take them there, and they and I did not know their history in terms of until recently how often they lost in Europe. They lost a lot. They got to the final a lot and lost a lot.
Quick caveat about Kovac. It's also because they didn't get Klopp. When
you
don't have your first choice, I'm not sure he was their second and third choice.
Well, see, I don't know how they let him go from Dortmund to Liverpool and then just scoop him up right then.
I really see Klopp being that type of manager.
I don't see him doing that.
I'm not trying to idolize him.
I thought they at least approach him, but
it's that type of coach. His
love for Dortmund is something strong.
Also the love for Dortmund, but also the project. He likes an uphill battle. He wants to build something. He wants to see players develop to the fullest. He likes being in that competitive environment, not just in terms of we're at the top. Like, you're chasing us. He likes to be the chaser. One comment he made that stuck with me, one quote he made was, we don't want to be the best, we want to beat the best. which, like, okay, if
That's
you
what
look at
Ray
it, like,
Lewis
that's a
would
little
say.
ridiculous. But at the same time, I think it also fit perfectly for the mindset of where Liverpool maybe was at the time, where they weren't the best yet, but they wanted to get there, and he wanted to play a party spoiler, party pooper.
Okay. Well, okay. Since we're talking about coaches, I had a few questions
Our
similar to last
classic
time.
coach's corner segment.
The coach's corner. Just to kind of bounce some ideas off you. So I had two simple questions.
I'm worried here. Okay.
All right. What do you want from a player who plays for you?
That's a vague and general question. I actually appreciate that question, actually, because what do I want from a player that plays for me? Or what do I want from a player, period, really? What other player? But I want you to fulfill your potential. I want you to play to your highest. I want you to have new limits and have different standards. I don't like saying higher standards. I keep on having people tell me, oh, yeah, you're giving these, when I go to a new team, oh, you have these players have higher standards. Like, no, they just have like different standards. I want to say different standards because no, it's different. No, I don't want to be disrespectful
Different mentalities.
to the coaches that were there before. But what I want from you is to redefine yourself on what you want to see yourself be in the future. Like me as a person, I say I want to be so and so 10 years from now. That's always my goal, to be this person and this person, and I want my players to have that idea as well and to put steps in progress to do that. I'm not asking you to be if you're my best fullback. I'm not asking you to play as my number six or to play the same way my number six does. I don't need you to or whatever. I don't need you to cross like this player does. I don't need you to shoot like this player does. I don't need you to screen and guide the opposition in certain ways the way this player does. Now, I need minimums of all of these things at a certain level,
Be yourself.
But I gotta understand what your limits are.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, at times I've been like, come on, no, you should be able to do this. And it's like, hey, this is not necessarily this kid's level or these kids' level or these players, these grown-ups' level. Redefine what you want from your players yourself. But I want them to understand what I want from them. I want them to agree with it, and I'll say I'm not going to push you on the. I'll push you on the journey. I'm not going to be the main driving force on the journey. That's you. Let's go together, and whatever you learn in this, you can take to life. That's how I see it.
Okay, I like that. Okay. Second one's an interesting one. How do you admit you made a mistake and not lose credibility?
Okay, well, first off, I don't make mistakes.
And that's where the lie.
No, so that's good. Also, guys, Phil doesn't tell me these questions beforehand. All right, so we obviously can't prove that, but this is truly surprising.
Not pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
I have a producer here, so it's just in the background on the computer. I don't know if she's working on the other podcast, just looking at us. That's a good question. I'm honest with my players. That is actually really, I'll say truthful at least, if not honest. That is really important to me, and I stress it. And so that's the first thing. If I feel I need to admit I was wrong, I will. I can be wrong and be like, it's not necessarily the point. It's not the time to say it, or it doesn't have to be said. Or it also depends on what you're wrong on. What if you made a decision on putting the wrong player in a certain position, and that player struggled? You don't want to call the player out for that. Even if you could paint it as, I'm giving tricks of the trade. If any of my players, future players, past players, current players hear this, they'll be like, oh, so you've been doing that with me, but it's fine. They don't pay attention to me. No, I'm kidding.
The coach said.
But what if I say, oh my goodness, I put Phil in the holding role because so-and-so came out. I put him in there for 5 minutes, and in those 5 minutes, we gave up 3 chances, got scored on once. That's on me. Not that
wait a minute. Whoa,
I know, that's a lot in 5 minutes, but you get my point. And what am I supposed to say?
Much better play
I can't go and say, you know what, Phil obviously just can't defend in that manner.
What is happening right now?
You're the person here. What else am I going to say?
Any other name? Bob. Let's talk about Bob because I'm an excellent defender. Let's believe that. Right.
So Bob, I can paint that in a certain way to take the pressure off of Bob. But I'm not. If I'm going to say that, I'm going to say I put. Once we lost a player, we didn't adjust in the correct manner. I say a lot of we. I like to say a lot of we. Even with my players myself, I'm not going to call them out like, you guys failed to do this. Like, no, we did this.
But you're going to, okay.
And when we succeed, it's like, this is you guys. You guys fought for it. Went through it. Because it is truly them on the field.
Okay, so
but I am willing to admit I made a mistake. It depends on the mistake, and I will look you in the eyes. But if I'm willing to make a mistake, it's because I hold myself accountable as much as I hold you accountable. And so, first off, don't make too many mistakes. You will, but don't make too many mistakes. But have that standard. Like, I want a player to be able to admit, like, I messed up. And I'll be like, you know what? I messed up too. Like, so just be honest.
Okay,
honest at all times.
Let's say we get to the levels that we hope you will, in terms of being a manager at one of the top leagues. And I've often seen it where the manager comes out and says, I made a mistake.
That's different.
I didn't make a change too early. And sometimes you can see the honesty in it. Sometimes you see it as defending a player.
That's the difference right there when you're talking to the media.
And so I'll use a recent one.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Dyer got subbed off. I think one of the earlier European games, I believe, for Tottenham
against Olympiacos.
Yes. He got subbed off early, and
in the first half.
Sissoko
very rare.
Came on. Oh no. Excuse me, Eriksson came on. And then the game really did turn around.
Yeah. And 2-0 down to victory.
And the first thing Jose did, which also showing that the early days, make sure. No.
What are you trying to say?
No. It's early days because usually you won't try to explain himself too much, but it's early days when she'll try to build rapport.
Fair.
First thing he did was apologize to Eric Dyer. And I do think part of that is him claiming.
Is that what he said, or did we actually see him apologize?
He actually apologized.
Okay.
He started off pretty sure he apologized. Yeah.
Apologized.
And I think it was honestly trying to apologize because it is a tough thing for anyone to swallow. Yeah, 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. That's oh my gosh. I think I see someone do that for disciplinary reasons. I think it might be Man United. Louis van Gaal did it to Evans.
Johnny Evans.
Yeah, someone. I think it was a young kid came on for his debut.
No, that wasn't Johnny Evans.
Yeah, it wasn't Johnny Evans. So yeah, came for his debut. And he was stinking it up, and it got taken up like 27 minutes.
That's tough on a youngster. So you're saying that's different to me on a media point, because when you're talking to the media, first off, can we understand that coaches don't owe the media or anything. Fans honesty?
Sorry. Yeah, he owed the fans something. Sorry. Clarify what I said.
Honesty? Because when you're too honest with the fans, you could be hurting your own team and players.
Of course.
You've got to pick and choose what you say. But the media in particular... No, you don't really owe them that much, but to come out, and also you got to be careful. If you show too much weakness, first off, already in a team where players, especially grown players, men and women, they'll eat you alive. The lion tamer, also, when I made that lion tamer comment, I'm so sorry, it was not Arrigo Sacchi, it was Bela Gutmann, another great coach. All right, so I take that one back. But it is like that. It is like that. No, because I after the podcast, it bothered me. I was like, I feel like it wasn't Sacchi. I looked it up. And I was like, shoot, I messed it up. It was Bela Gutmann, the Hungarian coach. But you can't come out every week and say I made a mistake, because you need the confidence. Look at it though. When you have the fans backing, it makes it much harder to fire you. The fans already turning on you, makes it much harder makes it much easier.
That's the delicate balance of trying to keep your job and also keep your players. So
you set me up actually, because any of my players do hear this, they'll be like, "So you make mistakes and you don't tell us?"
Don't listen, kids. No, but it is something important. But I want. Last week I felt attacked. I felt directly attacked because everything was pointed towards me, and the pressure was put on.
Okay, all right.
So now I'm turning the tables per se. There's no table in front of me.
A little bit dramatic, isn't it? Well, there's a desk in front of you.
To the side.
A little bit dramatic, isn't it?
Okay. And I'm starting this fire session out, and I'm breaking it up. I got 3, you got 3.
All right, let's do it.
We haven't seen either or? Let's do it. Let's knock it out. All right. I'll start it off. A difficult one for any fan out there.
1 minute, right?
1 minute. All that ready?
Timer up?
Yeah, we'll pull it up. All right, first one. Mane versus Salah.
That is so petty. Yeah. That is so petty. Yeah. You got to give me more than that. All right, just Mane versus Salah. Mane versus Salah. I don't like this question. Right now, in form, I'm going to say Mane. If you ask me who I'd rather build a team or... No, I'm not. No, you didn't ask me that. You just said Mane or Salah, and I'm going to say in form, I'm going to take Mane right now. I think I got it. Thank you. I think they're both hugely important to the team. Their pace, their pressing, their fervor. Even though Salah does a little bit less work defensively than Mane. Mane has really come on strong. He uses both feet a lot more. He evolved into a playmaker. I remember about maybe a year ago how when Coutinho left, a little bit more, he got the number 10, and even before that, as Coutinho was leaving, he was being moved into the middle even more and being taught and learning to develop his play from the middle, and he'd become more of a playmaker. I'm going to take Mane for now. Okay. Is it my turn to ask you a question, or are we going to go all week?
No.
Back and forth? All right, good. Because all right, that was... I didn't like the way. I didn't like the tone.
See how I came back?
I didn't appreciate it.
I don't play no games.
I was fine. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Who is more important to their team, Lewandowski or Messi?
Messi. Lewandowski will give you a whole bunch of goals, but he does not create any. So in the games that he does not give you goals,
I feel like he creates goals for himself.
Scoring create any for others. I'm sorry, I have to put that stipulation in there, but I thought that was clear. Create goals for others. Messi, I think both of them actually are a blessing and a curse. I think.
Wow.
I think you can rely on them too much, and that becomes to be a problem.
So let's say
let's say
is what you're saying.
This guy. It's Messi. The answer to the question is Messi. Clearly. Clearly.
Lewandowski has kept Bayern Munich. They're not even in the top 3. He's kept them close to.
Two best players in the world is Lewandowski and Messi, right? Oh no, it's Messi and Ronaldo. Next question, because I'm not going to entertain this.
Wow.
I'm not going to entertain this.
That was a different topic. So Ronaldo to you is still one of the top 2 players in the game.
Side by side.
Okay. Bayern Munich is 7th. They would be
side by side. I want to talk about it. All right. Messi.
Okay. Well, that was aggressive. All right.
Back towards you.
All right.
Start your team.
I'll handle it with more
Start your team.
Okay.
Starting your team today.
Don't do this. What are you about to say?
Ronaldo. Phenomenal.
Please don't. No, hold on. Remember, there's some questions that are off limits. What are you about to say? Phil?
Zinedine Zidane.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be.
I'm not gonna be dirty.
I thought you're gonna go.
This is semi-dirty, but not really.
Yeah, I thought you.
Starting your team.
My heart and my head.
As a youth.
But do I know about Ronaldo's future, like health issues?
All you know is the potential.
Yeah, okay. Because I mean, I can't get past that. But Zidane is Zidane. Man, I got family in France. I'm gonna get killed.
Think about how much
I got family in Brazil.
In their early careers.
I'm gonna get killed.
Think about how he was.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna go Ronaldo. I'm gonna go phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of that is heart over head. Not that I would take Zidane in terms of head, but Ronaldo, the power, the pace, he was scintillating, he was devastating, and anytime you have him in your team, you have a chance to win. You know you can score goals. He might not work as hard defensively, might not have as much of an impact in building the play, but give me a fantastic center forward like him and give us a chance, because I know the experience of having to struggle without a center forward. And that is not a reference to any of my teams.
I cut that. I cut that off because I swear I heard that interview before. I don't know why.
What?
But go ahead. Your turn.
Wow.
Your turn.
I feel like I wasn't this petty, but all right. Oh, this is an easy one right now. Most entertaining national team rivalry currently. See how nice I am?
It's an easy one. I think about it though. Damn.
It's an easy
Most
one.
Most entertaining national team rivalry.
Right now.
Okay, so we actually are.
Do you need examples?
I don't know if we can base on where we're at. You know where we're at. We live where we live.
No, they can know we're in the U.S.
Okay, I want to say I don't know.
I told them I'm going to France for a quick trip.
That's true. So of course, some people say U.S. versus Mexico.
So 30 seconds of nonsense.
Not my own.
It is a good one. It's fascinating. It's entertaining.
I think it's.
American commentators are annoying as crap, but hey.
To me,
Anything else?
But I'm saying Brazil versus Argentina or Argentina versus Germany. No, not that one. Currently. Okay. I'll say currently.
Does Germany versus England count as a rivalry or as a beatdown?
No,
Give me an answer, Phil.
England versus Spain. I'll say Argentina versus Brazil. I think that's the one I got.
Punked out at the end. Just punked out at the end.
I think there's no other one.
Time.
Cute. Very cute.
I gave you nice ones. I didn't.
Is that all of them?
I should have been meaner.
Oh, my last one. Here we go.
Should have been meaner.
Now one more. My last one. This is an easy one. In my eyes. First to rise to prominence.
What is this?
China Super League or MLS?
Oh, that's actually not a bad one.
That's
honestly.
A good one. I thought it was a good
it's
one.
Not a bad one.
Start petty.
Good for you. Good for you. I'm gonna go with China. Barely, somehow. Money.
Somehow.
No, it's just because the U.S. has been putting into it a lot more, but the U.S. is going up against NBA. MLS is going up against NBA and NFL, MLB, which is somehow, according to some people, still America's pastime.
Are you saying the Chinese
NHL.
basketball is not big enough?
All right, how many leagues did I just give you? Whereas in China, they have made a decision to become great in soccer, in football, and they are pinching not just players and big time coaches. They're pinching coaches like my age, coaches at my level, growing up in the game. Like I've seen it. I've talked to people that are trying to go there. I've discussed it. That's a lie. I haven't talked to that many people that are trying to go there.
Enough.
But it's like it's a possibility. It's an option. They're getting people in there, and people are going for the money, and there will continually be money. And it's a factory. Players go in, they come out. Paulinho left there and did well when he left at Barcelona for a while. So there's a possibility. I think it's going to be China.
Yo, I forgot about him. Where is he at right now? Did he go back to China?
I feel like
he had like a year and a half. That was really good.
He was.
What happened to him?
Tottenham, an exciting year.
China, Barca.
The Tottenham was.
Where did he go?
He went back, and wow, he's balling out there now. Barcelona refreshed him to a whole nother level.
Yo, but he was doing really well for us. Why did he leave?
I'm not gonna lie, these are not fact-checked results, but right now, 2018, he had 13 goals in 19 games for Guangzhou, and he has 24 appearances, 15 goals in 2019. Is he still playing as a midfielder? I'm not gonna lie. Is he playing as a midfielder still? I have not kept my eye on.
Wow.
Well, that was an aggressive fire session. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But as we were just talking about, there's one more for me, isn't there?
One
more for me. Yeah. When I say poachers, who do you think
of? Poachers.
Do you need examples or are you straight?
Give me examples.
You got current Ronaldo. Don't get mad at me, fanboys. Inzaghi, Van Nistelrooy. And it doesn't mean they're only poachers, but one of the best, right? Inzaghi, Van Nistelrooy. I think of Inzaghi directly, and then Van Nistelrooy. Robbie Fowler. I don't know if I'd mention Michael Owen. Jamie Vardy, particularly now.
Honestly, when I think of poachers, I usually think more of lower tier strikers.
Wow.
When I say lower tier, I'm talking about maybe middle tier, like the. I was a Crouch.
What are you about? Ooh, not a poacher, but you mean that's the type of tier?
That's the type of tier, like that tier he's in. So
I always liked Crouch though.
Shane Long.
Good call. Good call. Yeah.
I had one. Oh my gosh, who's one I had thought
okay,
of?
I can give that. I can accept that one.
So give me
your Shane Long over Inzaghi. The man that was
born offside. I'm saying for that one, but I'm saying born offside.
That's what Charles Ferguson said.
Don't disrespect people.
I was quoting the greatest manager of all time. Now, give me an answer. It's over 1 minute.
I'll give Inzaghi.
All right, so I gave you that one. I gave you that
one. But to me, for the current day,
no excuses.
Long.
All right. I asked you a question on Brazil about entertaining national team rivalry currently, and funnily enough, our next topic was who is most likely to win their next World Cup first, Brazil or Argentina? Who is most likely to get back up to the mountaintop?
Brazil, zil.
All right, so we're gonna have to turn down the volume on that.
No, I just want to say that actually it's gonna be Argentina. It's gonna be Argentina. You know why? Because Messi don't lay down after defeat. He gets back up and he knocks
you said
you
that's not fair.
Down.
You just set him up right there, right?
He knocks you down.
You just set Messi up, right?
No, he's talking about it, man. He told you guys he's tired of y'all talking trash, telling him he ain't nothing. He's like, cool. What's gonna happen? Watch. I got Lautaro Martinez now. I got a little team behind me.
All right. Well,
let me figure out who's gonna be in defense and who's gonna be in the goal. And we're gonna be set up.
All right, can I respond now?
Let's get a real coach.
Can I respond now?
Tata Martino, good coach.
Can I respond now?
You're really gonna put your best player as your coach?
All right, so you said he doesn't lay down. That was a setup because Ronaldo fanboys are gonna be saying he retired after failing to win, which he did. So that was a bad look.
He took a vacation.
So that was a bad look. Secondly, he has Lautaro Martinez now.
Lalo.
Did he not have El Pipita Higuaín? Did he not have Kun Agüero? Did he not have Carlos Tevez?
What did they do?
Di Maria.
What did they do?
Ezekiel Lavezzi.
What did they do?
No, I'm saying has he not had world class players around him in the attacking point? I'm not saying that it's his fault. I'm saying that you can't make the argument that because he has Martinez
Look,
now, or even Icardi now,
as much
you can't make that argument.
You didn't mention his name, but the one that kind of lost him all the cups he could have had was Gonzalo Higuain.
I said El Pipita Higuain.
Oh, I always said his nickname.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I said Higuain.
I was paying attention.
We did not take a shot at Higuain.
No, I love. He played for.
But hold on, I agree with you that it's the defense and the lack of. It's not just the coach, it's the federation. But so you say Argentina definitely.
Argentina definitely.
I'm gonna say Brazil actually. I'm going to say Brazil. Remember, the next World Cup is 2022. That's 3 years from now. Messi will be what, 34?
So.
Still Messi. He is not renowned for taking care of his body the same way Ronaldo does, and even so, Ronaldo's been getting injured. So Messi, with a little more wear and tear on his body, who's consistently and constantly fouled and asked to carry a club and a country at the same time.
Let's hope that changes on both.
It's not. But so. And then you have that and the fact that their defense continues to struggle. They are warriors. Argentinians are warriors, but they are lacking structure in that federation and that team.
Godinez Uruguay.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
Uruguay is another team right there. You know what? Uruguay has a better chance of winning the World Cup. No, I'm kidding. No, they had a chance. It was 2018.
Forlan, baby.
If Cavani and Suarez were fully fit, France would have been in trouble. But I think it's Brazil because Neymar is a little bit younger. Gabriel Jesus is coming along. Bobby Firmino, Coutinho. You talk about injuries. That's true. After who I like a lot, Lucas Paqueta.
Yo, that kid, Everton.
Oh, there you go.
Yo, horrible haircut.
Which one are we talking about?
Great skill. Everton, Brazilian Everton.
You said kid, so I don't know if it's.
He's 24, isn't he? Like something like that.
Are you talking about Everton Ribeiro? I think you're talking about Everton Ribeiro. He's not 24. There's no way. You're talking about one who was playing.
He was playing the Copa.
Oh my goodness! I said Everton Ribeiro. Yes. Okay. Sorry, Everton Ribeiro is 30. Everton Suarez is he's young. Yes, he's 23. You're right. My fault.
Okay, yeah. That kid is
him.
I'm surprised he hasn't signed yet.
I was waiting for one.
Signed yet. He's just signed for Everton. I mean, his name's there.
Speaking of Everton, you have Richarlison, whose attitude you don't like.
I don't like his attitude. But that's why he's on the bench. Okay, no, stop. No, he's actually very talented. He's very talented. And honestly, the best part about him is flexibility. Play probably your lead striker and play on both flanks, and honestly even play behind the striker.
Marquinhos in defense. Though I don't want to. No, he's been very good.
Bernard is Brazilian, right?
Yeah, Bernard as well. Though.
Oof.
Yeah, well, I mean they're always talented. Yeah, Willian who's still around.
My God.
Can be frustrating, but you have Danilo who, and Rodrigo, Vinicius, and
but sometimes I feel
Fernandinho is done.
They may not know who the best team is. Number one.
Most. Definitely.
I think another issue is that trying to figure out who should play over who. For example, in the past, it's been Casemiro being the sixth in the team.
Sometimes.
Honestly, this season, can anyone tell me that Casemiro deserves to be there over Fabinho? Can anyone tell me that?
I didn't even mention Fabinho. Oh, my
Fabinho
word.
has cemented himself as...
But it's not just that. It's not just that. It's about fit and structure.
Okay.
It's about fit and structure.
So to me... What?
Look at
no disrespect to
did he ever deserve to play for the German national team?
Off club? Yes, off club, no, but
off country, you just do whatever he wants.
My man's a legend.
Oh, let's make this clear. I love me some Miroslav Klose, so does Philip. All right, just because we responded to what he said in the last podcast doesn't mean we dislike him or disrespect him.
Big fans.
That's a good point about Fabinho. I didn't even mention Fabinho.
So I mean, one thing I'll say is that if I'm trying to think of their best defense right now. I can't.
I'm gonna look at the midfield. And I'm thinking there's Casemiro, there's Fabinho, there's Lucas Paqueta, there's Arthur, and there's Coutinho. Right about now, right there, right. And if we say we'll probably go to 4-3-3, it's gonna be a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. That's how they're gonna. Not whether they should, but those are the two options, right? Neymar is gonna be as a left winger.
Yeah.
Period. And then it might be Bobby, it might be Gabriel Jesus. Or you have Gabigol, who I personally don't think is going to have much.
Based on the team, I think it's going to be probably Firmino. It's got to be Bobby because I think based off they had Everton starting, at least in the Copa. So
that's potential there. But what would that midfield be? Casemiro starting in the 6 because also you got to remember that coaches they like what they know.
Yeah.
Particularly national team coaches.
Look how long, and I say this with all respect. Look how long Gustavo played.
Oh. Wow.
Very, very strong, very good player. Did not have the best club success, and he had decent club success. But what he did for Brazil when he played for them was fantastic. So trying to get the balance in the midfield is
Or
key.
Fred.
Or Fred too.
Remember Fred?
So I mean, and
This
he's
poor guy was much maligned in Brazil after that World Cup.
So I think it just depends on what you're trying to get from your team, and with the
Give me your forward line.
Forward line.
Yeah.
Let's get to.
Yeah, so it's
So
Neymar,
Neymar, Bobby, and Everton.
Okay.
And if it's not
You got the
Everton, probably
midfield?
Richarlison.
Probably Richarlison.
Okay, midfield. If depending what they have, I think if they do 4-2-1-3, messed that up, didn't I?
That's basically a 4-2-3-1. Well, honestly, formation. We'll talk about formations one day.
But I'm thinking midfield three.
It's how you animate a formation. How you develop it. But yeah, 4-2-3. You said midfield
Coutinho.
Uh-huh.
And Fabinho and Casemiro sitting.
So you're saying, wait, who's sitting?
Fabinho
and Casemiro.
And Casemiro.
So it's kind of like 2 6s,
yeah,
two holding midfielders, as they say,
and 1 10,
and a 10. Okay.
Okay, and then for defense, somehow
I'm gonna let the defense go because I don't trust any of these players.
Yeah, so somehow Dani Alves will still be playing.
He is struggling in some. It is very complicated.
He should just have retired.
But it's also the fact he wanted to play.
He's like a winger.
He wanted to play in the World Cup.
Yeah,
he wanted to play in the World Cup.
Like a winger.
He wants to play as a winger. He did well in the beginning, and then not so well. And they wanted to revert him back to right back, and he's.
But also, what is defense in the Brazilian?
That also is that as well, and he's not used to it, and the lack of structure and the rigid lack of order, and now he talks a lot more in Brazil than he did in Spain, like a lot more, and everything he says, because it is Dani Alves. Is he the most winningest player of all time? I believe he is, and for the ones that count, and now it's Brazilian media, like it circulates a lot, so he's been struggling with that. And I gotta say, what did you give me? If you're taking a 40-year-old right back to the World Cup and you're Brazil,
you'll be 40 by then.
You're doing something right. He's 36 right now, so maybe 39.
That's still wild, bro.
He'll probably be 40. He'll be 40 actually.
And so with the pacey type of wingers they have in the world now, oh nah.
Because it doesn't mean he has to start, but I think he wants to be there. He probably wants to play.
Can you name?
He will want to play.
Brazilian defenders off the top of your head right now?
Daniel.
I got Miranda, Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva, if he makes it.
I completely forgot him. Oh my goodness, Thiago Silva. Well, we won't talk about Thiago Silva today. That is not a controversial talk, but we go at him.
I don't think Marcelo
Logi of Atletico Madrid just went there.
Okay, Danilo.
Fabinho could play. Can technically play.
Yo, time out.
Right back.
Did I just forget that Fernandinho plays for Brazil? My apologies.
He's 34, man. He's not.
He's probably done. You're right.
Let him live, man. Let him live.
Well, I don't want to disrespect him, so.
No, of course not. There's Wagner, but there's that Monaco boy, Jorge. It's no one that is fully.
Marquinhos.
Guy, yeah, I mentioned him.
I didn't hear him. My bad. Oh yeah.
Earlier.
He can actually play.
We want to talk about Emerson of no, he plays for Italy. I'm sorry.
He plays for but he definitely is.
But if we're talking about standout defenders, not even just looking at Alexandro, of course, not even just looking at Eder Militão, who just went to Real Madrid. That's the one I was missing. We'll see about him. We'll see. People are a bit too quick to dismiss him, or to dismiss anyone. But if we're talking about top players yet, not too many people have proven themselves as of yet. But speaking of proving themselves, and Ederson, that's a battle right there. But speaking of proving themselves, reports just left out that Minamino is to go to Liverpool in January. Has not been confirmed. Let's make that clear. Has not been confirmed.
RB Salzburg has a squad up front.
I will say that Phil has been talking about not just him, but multiple players on that team for a while now.
Juan Hichan. Player, baller.
And Phil actually sent it to me today. He was like, baller. "Hey, I'm not sure you understand how much of a bargain you got that this team went and got. Was it Liverpool got for Minamino? Was it 7 or 9 million, something like
7
that?
7 or 9. I think it depends on what you do in pounds.
Pounds, euros, or sometimes dollars. Threw me off. I don't know. It was fairly cheap. And I was like, all right, settle down. But it hasn't been confirmed yet. Look at Fekir.
Why so cheap? Why so cheap, though?
It was a release clause, man. And it's the Austrian league.
It is Austrian league, but I thought you tried to milk them for whatever they got. But I told them that I do not think that front three they have will be there in the next 2 years.
Definitely not.
Erling Haaland is definitely leaving, and I don't not think
leave from
people
2020.
respect Hwang Hee-chan. That Korean team is going to be something serious. Best believe that South Korea team is going to be fire. 24-year-old, very talented, not the best height, but a great skill. Great skill.
Height or height?
Height. Or hype, honestly.
Hey man, you don't need to be tall.
And the skill is something else. I think he would surprise people. Like someone I think who hasn't got a real chance to shine. I think he doesn't have the best team around him. For example, one of the Asian players is Muto out of Newcastle. I've seen him play. Talented guy.
Okay.
And he has not got a great chance yet at Newcastle, being behind Joelinton. That's how you say it?
Joelinton, yeah.
Yeah. So he needs his chance. He's a very talented guy. I like him a lot, actually.
Leave.
Yeah, he should leave.
No,
he just signed. He just signed. That's the issue. He's a year in. Year and a half.
Year and a half. What was I going to say? So Minamino, that means that. All right. So we know the Liverpool strike force. You know that Origi is probably
that brace he just scored recently
is probably that first touch it. That trap is probably the first choice off the bench on forward lineup.
Yeah, but they like to play him
Shaqiri
wide.
As well.
Shaqiri is back from fitness. Ox is playing again and playing well. I think what they're
looking dangerous.
What they're trying to really secure is thinking, even looking at what they did in the previous few games in terms of rotation and balancing a decent amount of the starting lineup with some of the reserves, and in both at least scored 2 goals and cemented a win in both games.
Also, rotation.
Rotation is key.
FA Cup, League Cup, Premier League, Champions League, Club World Cup. What did I miss?
In 5 competitions, they were in 6, I believe.
What did I miss? If we're counting the UEFA Super Cup and the Community Shield. League Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, Club World Cup, Champions League.
Premier League. Is it Premier League?
Yeah.
That's 6, right?
Yeah, that's 5. Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League, Club World Cup. I feel like I'm forgetting something.
I thought the same too.
No, we're counting the UEFA Super Cup and Community Shield. The UEFA Super Cup.
So they already won 1. Not my team, but
but also I think it's not just that; it's planning. Sane. When you say Salah and Mane, it always comes out Sane. Mane and Salah are not going to be there forever. Neither is Firmino. And Barcelona was looking at Firmino. They might come back around, but then again, they're looking at Lautaro Martinez as well, and he's younger.
Similar style players I'm seeing now. I think one being more mobile than the other.
But you got to plan on this. And even better than to have someone who's already there, knows the club, knows the coach, knows the league, knows the team. Well, they're not all the same things. Club and team are not the same things. And is developing and growing instead of what Real Madrid did, except they had the ability to do it and they had a guarantee. They lost Ronaldo, lived without him for a while, then went and got Hazard. You can't always do that. Not everyone is Real Madrid. And Hazard, okay, is a guarantee even if he arrived overweight, lacking fitness, blah, blah, blah. He'll take time. Boom. All right. It is also a different league. It is also a league where it is a dogfight every time, even though they're making it a dogfight out in Spain this year, and that's great. But you can't always... The various teams in Spain are
got you. Oh, okay.
But like I'm saying, in Liverpool... You don't always want to take the risk of getting a big money signing that you aren't absolutely guaranteed of. Salah and Mane weren't supposed to come in and do this.
They weren't.
Not this way.
Well, Mane.
Or maybe Michael Edwards, the Liverpool directed.
After Southampton, I was more mad Chelsea didn't scoop him up because that guy is too talented. Because what he did to us each time we played him was scary.
I just think that Red Bull needs to be given respect.
I think
not just Salzburg, but the entire company. They've got a fantastic setup structure.
Go from Leipzig to Salzburg to any other ones they have around the world. They really seem to pick good teams to sponsor.
No, honestly,
and put money behind them. Which is awesome.
I had the chance to let's say visit New York Red Bulls. A certain part of New York Red Bulls, and I've seen I've had the chance to see other pro clubs and even 1 or 2 others in the U.S. The Red Bulls were the best I've seen so far, and just in terms of structure, professionalism, the coaches, It was truly fascinating. Everything behind the scenes, I was like, yo, this is legit. This is legit. This feels like back in Europe. It felt nice. And in that sense, it shows that Red Bull is here to stay. And Ralph Rangnick deserves respect.
Oh,
Ralph Rangnick deserves respect.
For sure. I'm disappointed that they're out of the Champions League, but I really hope they can put on a show in the Europa League because they are a very talented team. Even if Minamino ends up leaving.
All right. Last topic of the session. We got only about 5 minutes, and we're keeping it short now. 2019, we're in December. Decade's ending. It's crazy to say. Decade's ending.
Decade's ending, man.
All right. We're gonna get 10 years of 20s now. Who was the most dominant nation of the 2010s? Who was the most dominant nation of the 2010s?
You know, it's really hard not to ever say Brazil, if you think about it. To think of what most dominant nation of 2010s, I think if I can bring up ones that have really impressed us. So we can go Germany, that resurgence at the 2010 World Cup. So Germany. I think recently we have the Netherlands, Portugal.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
I don't think we can talk about Netherlands, man. I know it's recently, but we're talking entire 2010. Remember how they 2010 to 2019, okay. Like the most dominant of the entire decade.
Okay.
For me, there's only one answer. There was two answers, but then
Germany and Spain.
Spain, because when I look at it, I'm talking about. So remember, I maybe I didn't clarify, but I mean, national teams.
4 years.
But also production of talent, Champions League successes.
Okay.
Or just club successes, because it could be outside of the Champions League, European Champions League, there's Asian Champions League.
I'm thinking national team. That's what I was thinking.
Everything. Absolutely. Even if it's national team, I'm taking Spain.
To me, the only national team was 2010, 2014.
Taking Spain, 2010, 2012 Euros as well.
No, I'm saying 2010, 2014. That year, those years span was the best years. Afterward, they fell off for me.
No, not 2014. They were out already. You're talking about 2008 to 2012.
You're right, but that's a 4 year span. I'm thinking about one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was dominance on a whole nother level. That was challenging, potentially, the 1970s Brazil.
Yeah, Bosque.
But I'm gonna take it to Spain. I'm gonna put Germany second place. I don't know if I can find a third place. If we take everything in, because Brazil consistently will forever produce players, but France did just win the 2018 World Cup.
Yeah, France.
But they failed to win the 2016 World Cup.
You said if it's talking about everything, you have to put England there.
Portugal. Do I have to put England there?
You're talking about everything and not just national team? Yeah, I think
England has how many Champions League did England win? An England club win. Portugal, you have the Euros and the Nations League. And to my French listeners, that 2016 Euros is still hilarious to me.
Eder, he's the one that beat you.
Let it go. Why say it disrespectfully?
No, where's he now?
Why did you say disrespectfully?
Tell me his first name.
Okay. He's talking to you guys.
I'm thoroughly confused. Like I do not understand how that's person. I was rooting for you. What's that Tyra Banks thing? I was rooting for you.
And Ronaldo went down too. But who? So number one, who are you saying?
I think Spain.
All right. Is it head and shoulders above? Is it an easy decision?
No.
For me, it is an easy decision.
No, because you said it yourself right now. Oh.
2010, 2012.
You said.
And then Real Madrid won how many Champions Leagues?
I will say Spain. Probably because it will go Real Madrid, Barca won it twice or 3 times.
In the 2010s,
twice at least twice. At least twice.
Check. And the 2010s, Barcelona
12 and 15.
1, 2. It was 11 and 15.
11 and 15. Sorry.
And then Real Madrid, you had 1, 2, 3,
and then
4.
4, and then.
And Bayern Munich, of course,
and even getting
lost in 2010.
Getting Madrid made the final.
Atletico Madrid made the finals. You're right. Twice I didn't even think of the finalists. And then you just look at the talent. David Silva sometimes couldn't get into that Spain team. Juan Mata. People are thinking of the Manchester United Juan Mata. This boy was dangerous with Chelsea before Mourinho said, no, you're not that mean. All right.
But he stopped you.
Nacho is a pretty good player. Inigo Martinez, Yaramendi, Sergio Canales, Luis Alberto. Some of these players are coming on a little bit later. Isco. Please, talk to me. Thiago. Of course, you got to talk about Xavi, Iniesta,
Oh,
all these players.
That's given. I'm not mentioning
Even Joaquin
Brazil
and Vicente. I don't know if you guys remember. I used to love Jesus Navas, but Joaquin and Vicente, Valencia. No, I had to take it to
it's a
Spain.
squad.
Sergio
I
Ramos,
say Spain for sure.
Jordi Alba, Victor Valdez.
I thought you were talking international at the
Iker
beginning, so I apologize.
Casillas, David De Gea. We were not going to put Kepa up there for now. Marco Senna. We put respect to Marco Senna and Xabi Alonso. But yeah, no. To me, it's Spain, Germany in second, and then honestly, third place. You made a decent argument for England there. I want to say Brazil, but they no. Honestly, I can't because Brazil disappointed me so much, and I keep a close eye on Brazil, and they've disappointed me so much. So I'm not gonna let us. I can't.
I'll say England because I was gonna say it can't be Portugal because outside of the national team, I haven't seen too much. No disrespect.
Hey, how about the Ballon d'Ors? Right? Argentina didn't do enough, consistently failing in the finals. I'll say falling. That's a little bit less harsh. You're gonna give it to England?
Yeah, I think England got it.
France made a final in the Euros.
They did make a final in Euros, but then their league is.
Did I say at home? It was what's at home?
Who's challenging them? PSG, right?
I'm sorry.
It's PSG's league. It's not a league.
You're giving it to England?
England. Yeah, England.
In production, I'm gonna say France. World Cup and the production of talent. The talent. Also, continue to guys watch Liga. It is very, very entertaining.
It's improving.
All right. We're going to call it a wrap for tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. So stay tuned. We're going to release another podcast next week. And then, you're going to get our podcast from our time in France. That'll be fun to get a special guest for you right there. But once again, thank you so much for listening. We cannot wait to talk to you again. Please leave comments and tell us what you want us to talk about.
And what you thought about the podcast as well. Check us out on our Twitter and Instagram at Seiko Sonar. That is Seiko. CEICO Sonar SONAAR on both Instagram and Twitter. Also check out our sister podcast, the Disagreement Podcast, and just enjoy the listen. We appreciate you guys continuing to support us and listening, and hope you enjoy it. So we'll sign out and see you next time.